Hello, everybody, and welcome into my kitchen. This is Amy Silver, Senior Leader with Epicure, coming to you from my cottage kitchen. So I am enjoying my cottage vacation, and I wanted to share a few things with you while I'm here. So look for upcoming demos from the cottage kitchen for the rest of the month. And then as we slide into September, look for a brand new demo showing off all of the new products that are coming to you. So for those who have not followed along with me before, thank you so much for tuning in. So I have been with Epicure for 11 years now as a consultant and leader, and I was a customer and a host for 5 years before that, telling everybody I knew about these amazing products and using these products all of the time. My children were quite young at the time when I joined, and I really felt strongly that I didn't want to go back to work in the finance industry. I wanted to stay home with my children, but being a stay-at-home mom didn't quite agree with me the way I thought it would, and I needed to find something for myself, find a way that I could still contribute to the household finances, but that would still allow me to use my brain, get out in pockets of time, be with other grown-ups. And for me, Epicure was the perfect answer because I was out with food and talking to people about my love of good food. I've always been in the kitchen. I grew up in the kitchen with my mom, and I try to bring my boys into the kitchen with me as much as possible as well. Epicure is a Canadian company. We were founded nearly 25 years ago, just outside of Victoria, BC, and we have now been in the US for almost 2 years, which is super exciting. So I'm very thrilled to be able to be offering all of these new, more healthful food options to my neighbors in the South. But Epicure, we are 100% gluten-free. We are partnered with the Non-GMO Verification Project, and over 85% of our catalog is guaranteed to be free from genetically modified organisms. We are nut-free. We are salt, sodium, sugar, and preservative conscious. We have an extensive list of items, ingredients that we will not use in our products because we believe that they are harmful or unnecessary. And we really are a health first company, and I love that I can provide healthy options to my family. I love that I can share healthy options to my community. And over the years, I have built a wonderfully diverse group of consultants that I get to work with all across Canada and the US, and I am proud to see what they are bringing to the table in their communities as well. And we're not just a spice company anymore. We have been a food option. We have been a good food, real fast option. We have been a raw to ready in 20 minutes or less option for quite a while now. So tonight we are making a favorite of mine. This came out as a taste test a while back, and it is currently available in our August What's for Dinner meal collection. This is our honey garlic meatballs, which is amazing. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got some rice that just finished in the microwave. So this is a cup of raw rice with 2 cups of water, and it was in the microwave for 13 minutes. Now I'm just going to take the tray out, give the rice a fluff, and then because the meatballs are actually going to be made in the steamer in the microwave, I'm going to add this rice straight into a separate container and make the meatballs right in this same steamer. Pull that rice out. And we are ready to roll. So I'm just gonna mash up this meat. Normally, if I was in my home kitchen, I would have my ground meat separator, which works really well to break up the clumps of your ground beef. That's okay, we're living the cottage life these days, which is fabulous. To this, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of the honey garlic meatball seasoning. Using this handy dandy 4-in-1 spice spoon that has measurements for a tablespoon, a teaspoon, flip it over, and there are markings for a 1/2 and a 1/4 teaspoon as well. We'll mix this all together. This is going to make, depending on the size, anywhere from 16 to 20 meatballs. So we'll get it all done up. Get the meatballs rolled, get them in the microwave, and take 4 minutes in the microwave. During that time, we're going to make the sauce. So I would love to hear from you. What types of mealtime demos or meal solutions would you like to see? There is a poll in the VIP group. Now that Nova Scotia is going into phase 4, I am permitted to do live in-person cooking classes again, which is super exciting. So my thought was that perhaps instead of doing a small virtual demo on a weekly basis for the online community, that perhaps I would do one full-length cooking class once a month, perhaps offering the opportunity for others to come to a live tasting in my home, and of course, opening it up to hosts who wanted to have their own event in their own home. So I would love to hear from you. Are you enjoying these demos on a weekly basis? Would you like to see more of them? Would you like to see less of them? What kinds of meals would you like to have offered? Over the past, I've had requests for more camping themed meals. I've had school night requests, which is great because so many of our meals are designed to come together in 20 minutes or less, which is perfect for our busy, busy lifestyles. I do find it is one of the silver linings of the last 18 months of pandemic that many of us have started to take that opportunity to slow down just a little bit. In the beginning of the pandemic, when everybody was cooking at home, the panic was real because people hadn't been cooking at home. Many people ate out multiple times per week and weren't cooking at home and weren't using those skills. And actually cooking at home is actually one of those skills that it's going away. A lot of our students are reaching university and they don't know how to cook. That's why things like Uber Eats and those meal delivery subscription services have been so popular. So I've got my 16 meatballs in there. Let's just do a quick wash up. Some of this ground beef off my hands. I would love to hear from you. Have you made your meatballs in the microwave before? What did you think? Before Epicure, anytime I'd ask people if they actually cooked with their microwave, I'd get a lot of strange looks. And it's not something that many people do. But Epicure, where we've got the steamers, this particular steamer, this is our multi-purpose steamer if you're not familiar with it. It is designed to go in your microwave and to cook whatever you're putting in here, whether it's vegetables or chicken, or tonight's we're doing our meatballs. You can do popcorn, you can do rice, you can do quinoa, pasta, whatever you're putting in here. Other than the rices and the quinoas and the pastas, you don't need to add any water. So I've just got in here, I've got our meatballs. I'm gonna pop the lid on and I'm gonna put it in the microwave, which I warn you sounds a little bit like an airplane. I'm going to put it in for 4 minutes. There we go. And I hope you can hear me over the airplane microwave. So we're going to turn on our heat. And what we're going to add to our pan, we're going to add 1/3 cup of water. We're going to add the rest of our seasoning. And we are going to add a tablespoon of honey. Now in this container, I've got 2 tablespoons worth. So we're just gonna eyeball it because that's how I do things in my kitchen. And then I'm gonna stir that all up. And what we want this to do We want to bring it to a boil, stirring it constantly, or at least super frequently. And then we're going to reduce the heat and simmer. That's it. And then we have made, turn the heat up just a little bit, get it over more of a medium high. And once it has come to a boil, it is going to cook down to a beautiful sauce. So the ingredients in this seasoning packet, we've got our organic sugar, which is made with an organic coconut palm sugar and cane sugar. Here's cornstarch, which is what's going to make it bring it down to a sauce. We've got garlic, organic tamari powder, which is soybeans, salt, and maltodextrin, and sea salt. That is it. So I'm going to let that come to a boil before we reduce the heat. We've got 2.5 minutes on our meatballs. Let that rest for just a moment. Have a nice glass of wine. Cheers. And then we go back to giving it a little stir. So normally when I do my in-person cooking demos, I get members of the audience, such as yourself, to come up and actually do the cooking, to get their hands on the products. I'm using the frying pan that came in the cottage this time, but normally I would have my wok. But really, we are experiential retail, where you do get to try everything before you buy it. You get to see how it works. You get to see how it smells, how it feels in your hands when you're using our cookware. And that really is the beauty of our in-person cooking classes, because as I'm very fond of saying, the catalog tastes so much better in person. I love doing my virtual demos because everybody eats, and it's true that so many times I go to the grocery store and I buy something just because of the advertising that I've seen. I may not have even tasted it before. So I know it's food that we have, it's essential items, so you don't need to taste it, but it's such a nice bonus to taste it, right? So I'm already starting to get some thickening here, starting to see a few bubbles, so I'm going to turn that heat down. And this should only take a few minutes. We've got 40 seconds left on our meatballs, so by the time the meatballs are out, this sauce is going to be absolutely perfect. And it smells so good. And that's the drawback for the virtual class, because I can tell you how good it smells. I can do my best to describe it to you. And right now I'm getting a lot of the umami flavor of the tamari as well as the garlic, which is delightful. Bring this over so you can have a good look at our sauce. So that's just going to thicken down a little bit more, but it is fabulous. You get the sweetness of the honey. And so let's check our meatballs. Where I'm using a microwave that's not my own, it's entirely possible I'll have to do another minute or two. And these meatballs were on the large side. So they look very close to being done. But I'm going to pop them in for an extra probably a minute and a half because they are quite large. And I don't want to be serving anybody undercooked ground beef. Let's go 2 more minutes and it should be perfect. And the sauce will be perfect. And we will be ready to go. So while those are finished up, I just wanted to take a moment and thank you so much for your support, for tuning in with me over the past 18 months of this pandemic where we've gone 100% virtual. I am excited to get back in person, but I am promising not to give up virtual, because with virtual, you've got a much of a larger reach. I love that I have people tuning in from all across Canada, all across the US. I've even got some friends overseas in Europe who I know tune in just to see what I'm up to, which is super fun, and I hope to be able to offer Epicure to them directly someday when we start more of our global takeover. But it is It's a privilege. I feel very privileged to be able to be in your kitchens and offering some meal solutions. This particular honey garlic meatballs it's a delicious, it's a simple meal, and it is one that I really hope is in the fall catalog, which is going to be out just in a few short weeks. And so keep your fingers crossed. A reminder that if there is anything in the current summer product lineup, such as our glazes or our rubs, some of the more stereotypically seasonal ones, the summer favorites, they are only available while supplies last or until the end of August. So do be sure to connect with me and make sure you're stocked up on your favorites. The honey mustard and the sweet and spicy mustard are back in stock. Limited time until they run out. They did sell out briefly and now they're back, but I have no idea how much longer they're going to last. So there are lots of options available to you. There's lots of exciting options coming your way for the fall. I would love to be able to share the new fall goodies with you, whether it's in person or virtually. So do pop me a line. And I am happy to help you place an order, happy to help you with a recipe anytime at all. Or you can certainly go to my website, which I will link in the comments. These meatballs look pretty much perfect. I'm just gonna cut one open here in a moment and put it in with my sauce, but I am ready to eat. And I hope that I can impart to you just how drool worthy this meal is. So thank you so much for tuning in. Happy to help you shop at any time and get some of this good food into your kitchen. Take care, my friends.